Packed and really fun, and apparently I went on too long.
How is that? Why is that a problem?
Is it a problem?
On a Thursday, you'd think, right?
Yeah.
I guess maybe one of the busboys had a date or something. But yeah, it was a long show.
Well, how long did you go on?
About an hour and 35.
Oh, that's way too long.
That's way too long. Way too long. But you know what? As long as they're laughing and I'm having fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, why would you cut that off?
I got nowhere to go and it's cold outside. Well,
we'll give it till tomorrow when it starts to snow.
Stand by.
1 second. 8:14, traffic from New York State apple growers. New York State apple harvest season is here. Visit an orchard, farm market, or a food store today, or find where to pick your own New York apples at nyapplecountry.com. Traffic also powered this morning by First Niagara Pinnacle checking account. Get an account that gives you more. Open a Pinnacle checking account with First Niagara. Good news, that accident on the 400 is clear and traffic's starting to move along. You shouldn't really see any delays, any heavy delays in that area. Same for 190 South as you head towards that South Grand Island Bridge. Other than that, just your typical morning delays. 190 South around the Scajaquada and the 190 North actually coming off that 90 split as you head towards Smith Street. I'm Liz Mantel, WYRK Traffic.
Check out WYRK.com. The stream is up and running. Dave Coulier is in studio with us, and he joins us next on WYRK.
That's the camera there. Look at you guys with a 2-camera shoot going.
Hey, man, look at this one. This one is...
Well, you got a master, you got a cross 2, you got another cross 2.
Yeah.
You like our rap system in here?
You need a director in here. And scene.
Oh, all right.
Still play hockey at all?
I do Sunday mornings. It's just a booze sweat though.
Saw you were at Riverworks yesterday.
Yeah, I was over there. That place is cool. I got a little tour. Got to shoot some pucks over on the rink.
Where in Michigan did you grow up?
Just outside of Detroit, St. Clair Shores, Michigan.
Does Detroit get much lake effect?
They do if the wind's blowing the opposite way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do because you got Lake Michigan and then you got the peninsula of Michigan, and then it accumulates all that moisture, and then by the time it gets to the other body of water, the temperature differential causes it to just kind of.
So if it's like an east wind, you're going to get it off of Lake Huron?
On Lake St. Clair.
Oh, okay.
Detroit River and Lake St. Clair, and then sometimes Erie kind of scoops up and
right.
I'm a pilot, so I like to think about weather all the time.
That's the coolest thing we learned.
You're in good company, man. We love weather.
Yeah,
I look out this window and I'm like, that's
weather.
like a stationary front moving in.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you fly propellered planes or jets? Or?
Everything, but I have a Beechcraft Bonanza, and my mechanic let my airplane roll the tail into the small hangar door on my large hangar door.
When you fly
and it's like we twisted the tail off. Yeah.
When you fly commercially, do you get nervous at all because you're not behind the controls? Or
no, not at all. I know I'm in good hands with those guys because they're way better pilots than I am.
So when you feel the plane like rocking and rolling, is it like, this is good?
That's just a bumpy road. It's no different than when you're in your car and you're on a bumpy road.
How did you get involved or interested in flying?
My dad flew. And now my son's a pilot with SkyWest.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Man.
He flew with me when he was a baby. I used to put him in his little car seat. We'd go get $100 hamburger somewhere. And so he's following in the footsteps.
And where do you keep your plane?
It's at Whiteman Airport, just north of Burbank Airport. That's a great little airport. It's just really cool little pilot culture. And I got my man cave.
30 seconds.
Wow.
It's really fun.
What's the longest trip you ever took?
Went to Montreal.
Wow.
From Los Angeles.
Wow.
Nice.
But nonstop. There was like 4 P stops, and my ass hurts. Gas, and I need a sandwich.
That's so cool, man. All right, stand by. That's Dan and Shay on WYRK. Nothing like you. It's 8:18. Good morning from Clay, Dale, and Liz. Happy Friday morning. And you know him as Joey on Full House. He's in town this weekend at Helium Comedy Club. Dave Coulier is in studio right now with us on WYRK. Good morning.
Good morning. If I only had $1 every time.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I hope you do.
Wait a second.
there was a part of us, and I said it. I go, you don't want to say Joey, but at the same time, it was such a big part of so many people's childhoods that it has to be so common that we're like he has to expect it.
You know, when you're a comedian just starting out, you pray for a full house every day of your life, and I would never turn around and kick something in the teeth that's been so great to me and has been so great for fans, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, and we're back. We're going to be back on Netflix with Fuller House, and it's been a blast. We're only 2 stages over from where we shot the original Full House at Warner Brothers. So it's kind of surreal being back there. And whenever the trams go by on the tours over there, I just walk in there, and this is where Friends and Full House was shot. And I always walk up to the tram with all the tourists, and I go, "Hey, is the house open? Do you guys know?" And then, and usually it's like a Japanese tour, and they're like, "Oh, joy, Gladstone."
That almost sounds like the John Stamos setup. He went to visit the old
The Full House
in San Francisco,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I've gone there too, and I've actually talked to people. I'm standing out in front of the house, and I'm like, "Man, do you believe it? This is so cool that you can actually come to this house." And I was talking to this couple, and I'm like, "Where are you from?" They're like, "Oh, we're just from Portland. We're not very far away, but man, this is really cool." And I'm like, "I always thought it was like in the park in the opening, where they're serving like a little picnic. I always thought it was there." And the guy's like, "Oh, no, I'm kind of an aficionado. It's not there at all. Everybody knows it's right here on Girard Street." And then I was like, "Yeah, you're a real aficionado. You are."
So I have to ask because I think this was a concern for everyone involved in Fuller House and all of us as well. Is the show going to be protected? Like, this Fuller House isn't going to ruin what made Full House so great?
Well, that's why we haven't done this reunion, this show until now, because we were very cognizant of we didn't want to screw it up, because you could really screw this up. And we know that the show has gone on to have this nice iconic legacy over the years in syndication. We've never been off TV since we premiered on ABC in 1987. So we were very aware of just, let's not screw this up. And for years we heard these pitches, let's do the show, let's bring it back. And it didn't feel right. And as a cast, we would get together, let's look, we did 192 of these, let's not botch this up. We're all, the fans are too. But when we finally heard what this idea was for the show, we said, that'll work, that'll be good, because it was just like, hey, we are older, we've got wrinkles, we've got lines on our faces, and let's do it that way. And so once it was pitched like that, we said, yeah, green light this is going to be great.
Dave Coulier is in studio with us this morning. He's going to be at Helium Comedy Club throughout the weekend if you want to catch a show, which I understand, you never know, might be the extended version. Last night was a longer version.
It was, yeah, and I felt bad because I went a little long last night, but the audience was having such a great time. It's like, isn't that why I'm here?
Is that a bad thing?
Well, were there complaints?
There weren't complaints, but you could just kind of see, like, the servers and everything. They're kind of like walking by me like, "Oh, look at Mr. Long Shorts over there."
Like the wind-up signal?
It wasn't quite that. They were very sweet. They were very nice. But then afterwards, we do a meet and greet, and I sell like Mr. Woodchuck shirts and Cut It Out shirts, and I have these shirts that say, "When I don't grow up, I want to be Joey Gladstone." And I've got all this stuff, and it lets me kind of mix it up with fans and say hi to everybody. And so that took like another hour, and you just see like servers going by like, "Well, I guess I'm not doing Jello shots."
Do you have time to stick around for some trivia?
Yes, of course.
We'll do that just ahead. It's 8:23. Good morning.
Our listeners were at the show last night, and
I hope they had fun.
They did, and we heard about your quest to find a boneless buffalo.
Yeah, and we went to a place last night with the guy who's opening the show, me and Nate, and we went to this place, and I was like, "Oh, you have chicken fingers Can I get like the chicken fingers with the wing sauce, that you put on the on the wing? He goes, no, you got to go someplace else for that. We're the real deal. And I was like,
Where did you go?
well, just right next to the Marriott, like 716, it's called. We
Oh, yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to watch some of the tail end of the hockey game and see some hockey replays, and so we're there. And the guy goes, no, we don't. He goes, no. He goes, if I bring that back in the kitchen, the chef's gonna play.
What?
I'm like, there's not a chef, it's a cook. Okay, you just
Chef.
you take the thing and I know how you do it. I make them at home. It's hard to screw up wings. It's like, oh no, it's like this is the sword of Damocles hanging over your head right now.
That's the place to go for the big screens, though.
Yeah, it was really great. It was really great. And then they had like the UCLA Stanford game. I'm looking around and going, we're in Buffalo. Why don't you show like the Sabres highlights or something?
Mm-hmm. All hockey.
Yeah.
There wasn't many from last night.
No, there wasn't. No.
Yeah.
Did not play well.
The last time I was here was 2006, and I went to a Sabres game, and they beat the Florida Panthers 5-3.
It's a rare thing.
I was there with a couple of buddies from Buffalo, and last night they lost to the Panthers. Was it 5-3?
No,
3-2.
3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, my buddy Nate, he's like, hey, the last time you were here, they played the Panthers. And I'm like, man, I can't get like chicken fingers. Something's going on.
2 minutes.
You wanted boneless wings or you wanted chicken fingers?
I wanted either boneless wings, which I didn't see on the menu, but they had chicken fingers.
Yeah.
So I was like, can't you just take the chicken
You just
fingers
wanted to toss them in the
What's
sauce.
the problem with that? I don't
the guy was
understand.
very adamant about it.
Oh,
Like,
God,
no,
really?
We don't do that here.
Sounds pretty snooty to me.
Did you so some of the kids that you played hockey with in high school and college went on to the pros?
My defense partner in high school, John Blum, went on to play for Edmonton, Washington, Boston, Detroit.
Did you stay in touch with those guys at all?
He doesn't use technology, so he hand writes me a letter every year.
No kidding.
Really?
I sponsor one of his players because he coaches in Florida. He coaches a AAA midget team, and they go up to Detroit.
Wow.
So every year I sponsor one of his kids.
Wow,
That's
that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. But he refuses to use technology, so his girlfriend texts me. John's sending you a letter.
Look for it in the mail. Minute 30.
He'll be there next week.
But he was a phenomenal player. And I was a defenseman, and one year I was leading our team in scoring, and everybody's like, yeah, because you play with Blummer. He does all the work. And I'm like, well, somebody's got to shoot.
Well, I mean, if you stayed with hockey in college and you continued on, I mean, would there be any chance for you to play?
No. I was too small. I was a good shooter and a good skater, but I didn't have the size anybody was looking for. I mean, I'm 5'11", and it's like, okay, no one was looking for 5'11" defenseman.
Now defenseman, yeah, but now you see a lot of shorter guys.
Yeah.
Gerby,
Right.
was one of them.
Well, yeah, you're a lot of your forwards are like, I'm a Red Wings fan, and they brought up a lot of kids from Grand Rapids, and these kids are just so skilled, but they're not big.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a finesse game now. We were talking about fighting and how, there's really not much fighting anymore in the game. And my friend Nate was like, do you miss it? I go, I really don't. None of these guys are fighters. They're not brought up as fighters anymore.
Right. You're lucky if you get one on your team.
Yeah. There's just not a role for that guy because there's not a fighter on the other team.
20 seconds.
You watch Kings or Anaheim hockey at all?
I do when it's playoff race, but I go maybe to one or two games a year. Yeah. What do you got going with it? Anything good?
827, good morning from WYRK. Dave Coulier is in studio with us today. He's going to be at Helium Comedy Club throughout the weekend. You might have seen him as Joey on Film. We came up with a little trivia for you this morning.
Okay.
A little Full House trivia.
Right.
And
I'm usually, can I just preface this by saying I'm really bad at this?
these are hard.
Yeah, I know they are. They're really hard for me.
These are hard.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the people that know the show religiously and watch it all the time that are listening right now probably know these answers, but we'll see.
They do. Some lady yelled out teen talk in the middle of my show last night, and I was like, teen talk? Is that... She was like, teen talk. And I was like, oh, great. Someone with Tourette's is here. And I was like, oh, how you doing? And then she goes, you don't remember Teen Talk was on like your show? And I went, you obviously know more about the show than I do. So I'm gonna be pretty bad at this.
You never know. Okay, so for a while, Joey and Jesse were radio DJs.
Yes.
Do you remember A, the name of the show, and B, the station they worked for.
I remember Rush Hour Renegades.
Yes.
But I have no idea what the station was.
I probably wouldn't have been able to remember it either. It was KFLH.
KFLH, yeah.
We'll give it to you.
And is that a real
Hour
station?
Renegades.
Does anybody know?
KFLH?
I don't know. We could look it up.
Yeah, it's K, so it's got to be, west of
West
Mississippi.
Coast. I don't think so.
Is that
it
how it
doesn't
works
come
in
up.
radio? You guys will know this.
Yeah, it's west of the Mississippi is K.
Yeah.
Except for there's one
Pittsburgh.
station. Yeah, there's one station with the exception.
That's right.
So-
Is a K in
Yes.
Pittsburgh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
KDA?
KDKA, I think it is.
KDKA.
Oh,
Yeah.
they must be like, well, they're not AM then if it's 4 letters.
I think
right?
they were the first ever radio station in America.
So they got
So
the
they- It was
grandfather.
kilowatts.
They get
right.
to keep
Yeah.
it. It's grandfathered
It's
in.
grandfathered.
Okay, what else you got?
Okay, all right. Do you remember the name of the telephone that that you were on and what they were raising money for when you sang Janie's Got a Gun?
Oh no, there's no way. You're going deep.
I know, but we were watching the clips this morning and it was just
Oh man, no. I remember things like during the week. Like I remember when Bob Saget mooned me, during lunch.
well, we're not privy to that. All right, here's a little behind the scenes
That's the
one.
stuff I remember.
Okay, this is the one that you might know then.
Okay.
Obviously, the Olsen twins, they were twins, but they performed separately.
Right.
Do episodes that they were actually on screen together.
Oh, you are going. This is like board game
But
questions.
come on, you were there. You don't remember the times that they were on scene together?
Was with John Stamos at the cafeteria when this happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I will give it to you.
I don't
That's
Yeah,
a
you
win.
win.
Yeah. Do we know the answer? What
It
was
was
it?
4.
It was
4 of them.
And we could come up with 3. And then I think one was the 2-parters. It was the series finale when she had amnesia.
Okay.
It was Greek week when the family came over from, and then it was the one where Jesse in the first season was stressed out about living and it was ruining his love life.
Somebody here watched Full House.
She's a
She's
Full House
kind of a
geek.
stalker. Yeah.
I just
Wow.
embarrassed myself a little
Now,
bit.
did you
That's
come
all right.
up with those questions? Or is that,
No,
is
I
that
got a
on
little help. I
Google?
got a little help, but we had the premise of it. You came up with the telethon.
The telethon one was great.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that show.
I'm
We're
amazed
fans.
when people know that. There were drinking games. There's still drinking
Oh.
games in syndication. People watch the show and like every time Joey says cut it out or you got it, dude, you got to drink or and it's like really that I always heard that about other shows, but then
It's a show you can watch with your kids.
you can't watch the unauthorized autobiography with your kids though. That was kind of
Is there truth to those? Because those come out all the time.
I watched it with my wife and I was like, we have to watch this, right? Just because I saw pictures of the guy playing me, I'm like, I gotta see this guy in action. So we watched it and she kept going, is that true? And I went, well, it's kind of, but they took like one bit of truth and tried to stretch it into a story. And then my character, had bad gas the entire autobiography.
Is that true?
Well, I've been letting them rip since I got in here, but
Good time to wrap this up.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for your time today. And you have a few shows left this weekend.
Yeah, I think there's pretty sold out. But I guess if you go to their website,
Never know.
at Helium, you can still get that, because they got reserved and then general seating. But if you look on the websites, they're sold out. I don't know how it works, but we're pretty packed last night. So
Great.
Nice
it's
to
going to
meet
be
you.
fun. Yeah,
Very
thank
cool.
you so much for having me on.
Enjoy your time in Buffalo.
Thanks.
Dave Coulier going to be at Helium Comedy Club. It's 8:32. Thanks for waking up with your country station. Here's Lady Antebellum and Bartender on WYRK.
Television show in all the sequences. Like you're not living the episode. It's,
Right.
Right.
You're
Yes.
shooting on separate days, but
Well, and I really like a lot of times you're like, you're done for the day, because your scenes are, we rolled you out already and you're gone.
Oh, I
So
didn't even
then,
think of that. It's not
I
like you
never-
stand around and watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched the show. My son was a big fan of the show, growing up. He would like, can I watch Daddy's show? And I'd be like, yeah, well, you got to finish your broccoli. But I never really watched it. So, someday I'm sure I'll be laying there. Have a marathon. But I'll watch it.
well, very cool. Can we grab a picture with you?
Yeah, sure, of course.